The door was thrown open and Tavish was inside. Sal was moving in too. Dylan's legs betrayed him until he received a shove from behind, and he too was out of the rain and into a blindingly bright room full of shouting. It took a moment for Dylan's senses to settle and take in what was going on around him. He raised his bat, ready to swing at anyone he didn't know. There was nobody to hit. The shouting was coming from Tavish, and one man he had pinned backwards over a desk. The laptop that had been there lay in pieces at their tangled feet. "Shut up! Shut the fuck up!" Tavish hissed. The guy, prone on his back, was yelling through Tavish's hand across his face and mouth, his own hand pushing into Tavish's chin. He was being forced into the desk surface, unable to get any purchase to fight back. "Listen up, prick. I'm going to take my hand away and you're going to sit up. Any shit from you and you get another slap with this," Tavish said, shaking the crowbar with his free hand. Dylan moved to get a better look, his pulse racing, and what felt like vomit sitting in his throat. As the guy on the desk sat up, his hands held up in defeat, Dylan saw a significant cut at his left temple, blood pouring freely. It ran down the guy's face and dripped from his chin onto his brown leather jacket. "That's better," said Tavish. "And if you think about running or doing anything stupid, it'll be a lot worse than a tap with a crowbar. Cover him." Sal stepped forward and lowered both barrels at the man's chest. "Now, where's the shit?" The man coughed into his fist, then dabbed at the cut on his head gingerly. He examined his fingers and moved to reach into the pocket of his jeans before Sal cleared her throat and bobbed the barrels at him. He paused, then continued going into his pocket, albeit slowly, with his other hand raised. He produced a handkerchief and held it to his head before raising his eyes. He took each of the 4 interlopers in, his gaze lingering on each for a few seconds. The words that came out of his mouth were calm and even, despite the threat contained within them. "Just what in the name of fuck do you think you're doing?" he said, his accent vaguely Liverpudlian. He pulled his right foot up to rest on his left thigh. To Dylan, the guy in his well-fitting coat, well-groomed dark hair, wearing a genuinely inquisitive expression on his face, looked like the one in charge of the situation. Dylan's pulse was still on fast forward. He lingered by the door, listening for any noise of an engine, but all he could hear was the steady drum of the rain on the roof of the porta-cabin. His breath was released in small clouds of steam through the saturated scarf at his mouth and nose. Sal was the same. She fidgeted and was breathing hard. The question seemed to throw Tavish for a moment, as he looked around first at Davy and then at Sal, but then he was laughing. "What do we think we're doing? We think we're robbing you of a copious amount of illicit substances, that's what. Now where the fuck is the stuff?" "And what stuff would that be?" Tavish scratched at his head, and his gaze went to the door and then back. He raised the crowbar and advanced on the bloodied man again. All right, the man said, holding the red blotted handkerchief up in surrender. "You need to stop waving that thing around, mate. You'll have someone's eye out. Look." The man started, then paused, a small smile blooming. "I don't know how you found out about said substances, but trust me when I tell you that you don't want any part of this. Any of you." His eyes again searched out each individual, though Dylan felt they hovered on him longest. "Clearly, I mean quite clearly, you have no idea to whom said substances belong. And if you don't know, well, I'm not going to be the one to enlighten you. Just trust me when I say that the intelligent thing to do is leave and do it quickly. And then you run and don't stop running for a while, and maybe, just maybe, I'll start to forget about this." He removed the handkerchief from his head and inspected the red blotch. "Though no promises," he said, as if to the stain. "Time for you to stop talking and start telling. Where's the shit?" said Tavish, the crowbar bobbing eagerly in his hand. "Look, if you're quick, you might just about get out of here before my colleagues return." "You mean the mob in the Range Rover?" "Nah, they were out of here in a big hurry. Whatever they're going to looks important. When they get back, we'll be long gone. Now, the shit. Last chance."